I have a lamp in front of me. Hey, hello everyone, my name is David Guerrero, and today I'm gonna talk to you about the Nikon D7500, which I'm taking video right now with. We're gonna just talk about video for this camera. We're not gonna go on photography. If you wanna know, I think it's a really nice camera, but we're gonna talk on video for this camera. Okay, so I've had this camera for around 4 to 5 months, and personally I have felt pretty comfortable with this camera, but there are some things in this camera that I don't really like. Okay, first of all, we're gonna talk about image quality. I really like image quality in this camera, either 1080p or 4K. Something you should know with this camera is that the photo focus on this camera is really bad. That bad that I don't have it right now. I've been trying to go closer in the camera, trying to go back, and I've been having to, it's a mess. So photo focus for this camera, not good. If you want to shoot on 4K, you should know that you only have 24 and 30 frames per second. I think you do have 25 frames per second, but that's all you get. 24, 25, 30 frames per second. When you have 60 frames per second on 1080p, and of course you have 50 frames per second, 30, 25, 24. Really nice, because I really wish, I like a lot to take video in 4K, and not having that opportunity on do it in 4K, that's something that upsets me a little bit. 4K does have a crop image. It crops your image. I'm gonna show you. I'm not gonna change the anything on the camera. I'm just gonna change it to 4K so you can see how it looks. This, you can see I have this space kind of like where the frame is, right here, almost like my hand, and then you can see both computers. Okay, so I didn't move the camera at all, so you can see how much this camera crops on 4K. You can just see half of this laptop and half of the frame, which is okay, but I don't really have a lot of space in front of me, so I can put the camera way back. If you want to use this camera for vlogging, I am not so sure how can that work. It does have an extra weight than other cameras, like the D7600. It doesn't have a flip screen, so you can't see yourself. I have a monitor, so that's how I can see myself. And also it's a big camera, so if you're gonna be walking around with a big camera, that can be kind of crazy, but it depends on you. This is how it looks, this camera, if you're walking around taking video of yourself. I am at 12 mils right now, but I'm taking video in 4K, so this is how the image looks in this camera taking video in 4K. The way, like I say, it's not the most comfortable. I'm feeling like my shoulder is getting tired, so you're gonna have to be changing your hands to hold the camera, but I think it's okay. Also, something to remember is that I have a microphone plugged in into this camera, so I'm gonna unplug the microphone so you can hear how this camera sounds without a microphone. So this is how my voice sounds without a microphone on the camera, so I can hear the difference. It's not too much, but I think that it's kind of notable, so I like it more with the microphone than with the camera, but I don't think the microphone in the camera is too bad, except when you have cars next to you. Well, but I do want to say that I believe that you can really use any camera like this for vlogging. It doesn't matter that it's big, as far that you're comfortable with, and if you really want to have a camera that you want to take pictures with, that you want to take really nice video with, and also vlogging, I would say I will give an 8 to this camera for those 3. Just to finish this video, I want to say that I really like this camera for pictures. It's not a full frame camera, but the body of the camera and the features on the camera are really similar to a full frame camera. Also, the image quality that you get is really nice. Of course, you don't get 4K 60 frames per second. 30 is the max you can get. Second, it does have a big crop on the image when you change to 4K. But I also really like the weight that this camera has. It is really nice when you're using either a Steadicam, a shoulder mount, or even when you're just handheld. That extra weight, it's really nice. Just recently I went to a trampoline park and I was taking video with this camera at 60 frames per second on 1080p and trampolines while I was taking video, and I think it looks really smooth, it looks really nice, even that I just have handheld. So I think that's a really nice feature in this camera. On image quality, I'm gonna give it a 9 on 4K. 1080p, I'm gonna give it a 10. A 7 if you want to go outside and you want to vlog. Not a full frame camera, I'm gonna give it a 10. Considering that it's not a full frame camera, I think it's really awesome. I hope that this video was helpful to you. I wish when I was looking for this camera there was more reviews out there. I couldn't find many of them and the features for video on this camera. So I hope help you to decide if you want this camera or not. Remember, if you have any question, please leave them here in the comments. I really appreciate your comments or questions. I've had this camera for a little while, so I know pretty much everything on this camera and how it works. I like this camera and I love Nikon brand. So any question, please down here. Thank you very much, and we'll see you in the next video.